Hello pickle fans! Today I'm going to demonstrate how to make the Duris Cold Pack Refrigerator Dill recipe. First thing I'm going to do is take a quart jar and I put a grape leaf in the bottom of the jar, and the reason we use a grape leaf is because it has an enzyme in it that will help keep your pickles crisp. Next thing I'm going to put in is dill weed. We sell all of this down at the farm. A lot of people think that most of the flavor is in the flour and they'll pick the flour off and throw the rest of the dill weed away. But actually a lot of the flavor is in the little feathers, which I guess are the leaves of the dill, and the stalk. So I'm going to take the stalk and just wrap it around my fingers in a spiral. And as I'm wrapping this around my fingers, the stalk is breaking, and as it breaks, that releases the dill flavor. So I've got it wrapped in a circle. I'm going to stick that down in the bottom of the jar, and then it'll just kind of unwind and make itself at home down there. Then I'm going to take a white onion, and the reason we use a white onion is because it stays firm in the jar. A sweet onion will become more soft and mushy over the time that it's in the refrigerator. So I've got the white onion in the bottom of the jar. Then I'm going to take 3 cloves of garlic, put those in the bottom of the jar as well. Now I'm going to add my cucumbers. So I'm going to cut off the blossom end of the cucumber, and here's an example. There's a cucumber with the stem on one end and the blossom. You can see the blossom end on this side of the cucumber. You do not want this little blossom to get in your jar because it will make your pickles soft. So we cut off a little bit of the blossom end, and if you get a cucumber that doesn't have a stem or a blossom end on it, and you go, well, which one is the blossom end? I can't really tell. The blossom end is always going to be the lighter end of the cucumber. The dark end is the stem, the lighter end is the blossom end. So you're going to cut off the lighter, just a little bit of the lighter end of the cucumber. Then I'm going to hold my jar sideways, and I've got a red bell pepper that I've already sliced. And I'm going to take a slice of the red bell pepper and I'm going to put it sideways, you can see that, in the jar. And then I'm going to add my cucumbers kind of around in a circle. And it's okay to leave the stem on if they have a stem. Sometimes I like to leave the stem on so that way when I'm going to grab a pickle later on, I just grab the stem and it comes out of the jar nice and easily. So I'm going to put one down the middle as well. And it's okay to push them in there very tight because as they pickle, they're going to shrink up just a little bit. So sometimes the last cucumber is a little difficult to get in, but it's okay to just take your thumb and apply some pressure and push that down there really tight. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I have 7 medium cucumbers. Down at the farm we sell several sizes of cucumbers. We have extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. Any size you want. Then I'm going to take a dried red chili pepper. This just adds a little bit of spiciness to your pickles later on. And I just kind of put that down between the cucumbers. Then I'm going to add some jalapeno pepper. And this is what a jalapeno pepper looks like. And I've just sliced it, and I'm going to put 2 or 3 slices down into the pickle jar. And the hotter you like your pickles, the more peppers you can add. Some people buy habanero peppers, which are very hot, and add them to their cucumbers. Now I'm going to take the flour of the dill that I cut off earlier. I'm going to put that down in the jar. And this really adds a lot of just character to the jar later on when we add the vinegar. You'll be able to see how pretty it is. Now, as you can see, I still have some head space in the jar, so I'm going to fill that up with a smaller size cucumber. And I like to get a couple of cucumbers that have a little bit of a curve to them because I'm going to put them this way in the jar, and that way they're the same shape as the jar. They go in nicely. So this is the smaller size cucumber. And again, it's okay to push those in there as tight as you like. Then I'm going to put a little bit more of the white onion on top. And again, it's just sliced pretty thin there. No, I'm not. I'm going to add the spices. Okay, I'm going to use a tablespoon of pickling salt. And the reason we use pickling salt and not table salt is because pickling salt is just salt. Table salt has an anti-caking agent on it that if you add it to your pickle recipe, it will separate from the salt and it will make your brine cloudy and it looks terrible. So 1 tablespoon of pickling salt, 2 teaspoons mustard seed, it's about 15 peppercorns. I'm going to use a teaspoon here so that I don't have to take time to count them all out. And a 1/4 teaspoon of alum, and alum is also something we use to help keep your pickles crisp. So I've got all those spices in the jar now. I'm going to put my onion back on the top. I'm going to take a 1/2 cup of 5% acidity apple cider vinegar. Some of our customers use the white vinegar in their recipes. That's what they prefer. But for this particular recipe, we use the apple cider vinegar. So all I've done is just poured that in over the top. I'm going to take water. We like to use well water or distilled water. Since I live in the city where they have chlorine and fluoride in the water, I put my water through the Brita filter before I use it for pickling. So I'm just going to add water almost to the top of the jar. Then, I've got half the grape leaf left here. I'm going to stick that on top. Screw the lid on tightly. I'm going to shake it a few times just to distribute the salt and the seasonings and, you know, mix up the water and vinegar. And that's it. Now I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for about 4 weeks and it'll be ready to eat. There's no warming, boiling, processing, nothing. This is so easy to make and it makes great Christmas gifts. People ask every year, where are my pickles this year? People love this recipe and it's so easy. If I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you down at the farm.